Thanks for joining us. Very good morning and very good evening to all of you. Um, Welcome to today's webinar on ransomware versus backup. Can you recover your clients after an attack? I am Mani Subramanian. I am working as a product manager here at MP Technologies. I will be organizing this session for you today. And joining with me is Pranav. He is also a product manager here. He will be co-organizing the session. And before we dive deep in, a couple of quick announcements. This webinar is being recorded, and the recording along with the presentation will be available on our website within the next 48 hours. And the audience would be on listen only mode, and we will try to answer as many queries as possible by the end of the session. And in case of any further questions or environment related specific assistance, we will be following up through email as well. So without much further ado, let's begin this webinar for MSPs on what it really takes to survive ransomware and recover your client's data. So let me begin with a simple but powerful scenario. On a Monday morning, a manufacturing company's systems go down and the MSP is getting a call, and the attacker struck over the weekend silently and patiently. And the MSP checks the backup dashboard, it's all green. And he replies back to the client that don't need to worry, we have backups and you're covered. And 3 days later, they couldn't restore even a single file. So the backups were there, obviously. Every backup job had run successfully and every status was showing up as green. But when they tried to restore it, nothing was working. So this webinar is different. It's not about whether you have backups or not. It's about whether you can actually recover your client's data when it matters the most to you. So the first and foremost thing which we all need to remember is this: backup success is never equivalent to recovery success. Okay. So in our scenario, the MSP had backups. Every MSP does have backups. That was never the problem. While the dashboard was showing green, the attacker had been inside for weeks or perhaps months. So according to an IBM's 2025 cost of breach report, organizations usually take an average of 240 plus days to identify and contain a breach. It is actually the lowest in 9 years, but still you can see it's about 8 months before the incident is fully under control. So during this period, an attacker can quietly map the network, he can escalate the privileges, and eventually find the backup infrastructure. So in our scenario, they didn't encrypt the data first, they killed the backups first, and then they encrypted everything. So by the time the client called you, the attacker had already made sure there was no way back. And this is how a real ransomware attack can unfold. First is the entry. The attacker gains entry into your infrastructure, and next phase is the escalation. He is escalating the privileges and also establishing control in this phase. And the third is he targets the backups, and finally the encryption happens. So by the time you see the ransomware note, your recovery options are already gone or very limited. So every phase was deliberate, every step was designed to leave you with no way out. So let us go through this phase by phase for a better understanding of it, how a ransomware can attack the system or the infrastructure. First is the entry phase. This is where the initial breach happens. An attacker can actually get into your system through any way. Okay, it can be just by clicking a phishing link in an email, or maybe you get attacked. And other thing is the credentials may get stolen, or maybe an attacker can exploit an unpatched vulnerability using any of the penetration testing tools. Okay, so they can gain an initial entry into your system, and at this point there is no alerts, there is no downtime, nothing looks broken, and the breach is completely invisible to the customer as well as the MSP. The second phase is the silent spread, and it's also the dangerous phase. The attacker moves laterally and he escalates the privileges, often to domain admin in most cases. And he tries to identify the critical servers, the backup servers, and also storage locations wherever your critical data is kept. And this phase can actually last for days or weeks completely unnoticed. And this is the most dangerous phase. The attacker is actually learning the environment while you have no idea that they are already there. And the third phase is targeting your backups. This is the turning point. Um, this is where the backup jobs can get deleted. The attacker can actually delete your backups, or he can also go and disable your backup services silently. Okay, and as a result, um, you wouldn't know that they have already deleted the backups silently. And another thing is they can attack your data repositories wherever your backups have been kept. They can attack the backup repositories. They can delete the data, or they can encrypt the data, or they can corrupt the data. So before the main attack begins. Okay, so they can either attack the backup job, or they can attack the backup data, or they can attack both. The brutal truth is your safety net at this stage is already compromised. It is just that you don't know it yet. And the final phase is the encryption and the ransom phase. This is where the visible attack um, actually is known to everyone. The systems go down unexpectedly. Your virtual machines, your databases, the file servers, um, all will get encrypted, and the users can get logged out instantly. And the client can get a call from the attacker at this point asking for a ransom. So the message could be like, pay the ransom to restore. The deadline is expiring, or maybe the files are completely encrypted and you need to pay the ransom immediately. And this is where the client will be calling you, and your phone starts ringing. By the time you get this call, the attacker, remember that the attacker has already been inside for days, and your backups may already be gone. So this was all about the ransomware attack sequence. And now we talk about a few points which you can keep in mind as an MSP. How backup, compromise, and recovery failures can happen in an MSP environment. So regarding backup compromise, every MSP would be having their backup strategies, um, and they trust it every day that this is going to work during recovery. And sometimes it may not work because of multiple reasons. One is the backups are not isolated. Okay, the backup infrastructure is not isolated. So you have a production environment, and you also have a backup environment. And the production environment is actually carrying your production data, and the backup environment is actually carrying the backups of it. And that can be a domain controller, which is common to both your production as well as your backup infrastructure. And the attacker can gain access to both the systems using a common domain controller, because your backup server is domain joined to the same domain controller. It also uses the same Active Directory, the same trust relationships, and often the same administrative credentials as your production environment. And the attacker gains the domain admin privilege at this point, and he logs into the backup server just like any other machine, and he can do whatever he wants to do with your data. And your backup is not a safety net at this point. It has just become another system under attack. And few more things, few more points which we need to remember is once the attacker gets the access to your backup infrastructure, the attacker can delete your clean backups. Okay, so before even encrypting your data, so you can go and delete your clean backup, clean restore points. and also he can modify the retention policies. This is deliberate, targeted, and silent, and you will never come to know of it. And as a result, only the infected copies survive. So by the time you go and try to restore your data, you are just left with infected old restore points, which may not work during the recovery phase. And one more possibility is your backups already captured the infection. So no one has touched your backups. Everything is as per schedule. Your backups are running fine every day without error. But ransomware had been dormant somewhere inside your environment for weeks or months. And every backup which you have taken already captured that infected state. So this means you don't lose backups, you are losing the clean backups. So the dashboard still shows green, every job says success, but we need to understand every restore point is already poisoned uh, with the infection without even a single alert. So this was all about the backup compromise, and recovery failure can also happen in an MSP environment. So that is because of hidden gaps, like multiple hidden gaps. One is a single point of failure. So if you are like having one backup server and one repository, at that with this infrastructure, one compromise can collapse everything. No redundancy means no fallback. So a single point of failure is one of the gaps, and no recovery testing. So your job may show success, but the restore can fail during an actual crisis. So untested backups are just assumptions, not guarantees. And uh, one more gap is the slow recovery, which means extended RTO, recovery time objective. Sometimes your backups can be like terabytes of data, and it can take hours or maybe days. And hours of downtime or maybe days of downtime is still a disaster. So even if recovery eventually succeeds, a slow recovery is not always the way to go. So the understanding here is backups existed in each one of the cases, every case, but recovery still failed. It can be, as I was mentioning earlier, it can be because of the backup compromise. The attacker has gained like domain admin credentials, and he walked in, he deleted clean restore points, or the backup itself got poisoned because of the attack. And another reason is the recovery failure because of untested restores, or maybe a single point of failure and extended RTO, which your clients couldn't afford. Okay. And we are going to look at a backup strategy that survives such ransomware attacks. So in the next section, we are going to cover some of the points which we can keep in mind to have a better ransomware strategy. First is like isolating your backup infrastructure. As an MSP, you need to build environments where recovery is tested, protected, and also confirmed, not just assumed. And as part of it, you need to have isolated backup infrastructure, so the attacker wouldn't be able to gain direct domain access to your backup infrastructure. You need to have a separate trust boundary from the production, and separate credentials, separate network, everything. Okay, so domain compromise can't happen. And immutable and protected copies are also important. Uh, Once you lock your backup data, once you lock the backup data, no one would be able to actually modify or delete, even as an administrator. So immutability is your last line of defense. And you also need to test your recovery regularly. So we need to have a regular tests scheduled at least for the critical workloads. And a backup job that says success doesn't always guarantee you a successful recovery. And finally, we also need to have a proactive monitoring and detection mechanism in place. Uh, if you continuously monitor your endpoints for suspicious activities and contain the threats before they can spread across the network, it is one of the practical strategies um, for strengthening your backup reliability. And the other thing which we need to um, add here is uh, avoiding a single point of failure. Okay, storing all backup in one location, whether it's on premises or on a single cloud bucket or on a single device. Uh, if everything is kept in one location, it's going to create a single point of failure, and that can wipe out your entire safety net with one event. The event can be a hardware failure, or it can be ransomware attack, any natural disaster, or it can be like manual or accidental deletion. So the understanding here is one copy is equal to one point of failure. So if that copy gets compromised or becomes inaccessible, there is no fallback mechanism, no redundancy, and there is no recovery possibility. And the 3-to-1 rule exists for a reason. 3-to-1, as you'll be knowing, it is 3 copies of data on 2 different media types. It can be block storage or object storage, and with 1 more copy offsite. This isn't an optional best practice anymore. It's the baseline for real resilience, at least during a hardware failure. But this is not enough. The 3-to-1 rule is not enough anymore. So we move on to the 3-to-1-1 rule, where you can have 3 copies of data on 2 different storage media with 1 offset copy and 1 more copy that is offline or air-gapped or immutable. So this adds ransomware resilience on top of the baseline, which is 3-to-1. Okay, so you need to have an offline or air-gapped copy or immutable copy. Okay, and the next way forward is the 3-to-1-1-0 rule. So that means 3 copies of data, 2 different media types with 1 offset copy and 1 offline or air-gapped or immutable copy. And the final thing is all copies need to be verified as recoverable with 0 failures through regular testing. And this is the gold standard for environments with 0 tolerance for recovery failure. Okay, so you need to have this in mind, 3-to-1-1-0 rule. So 1 copy is not a backup, it is just a risk. And 3-to-1 is the minimum, and 3-to-1-1 adds ransomware resilience, and 3-to-1-1-0 is the gold standard. So if you are an MSP, you can start with a 3-to-1 if you are not there yet, and then you can build up from there. And we also need to have a focus on RPO and RTO. When a ransomware hits, your clients are not going to ask about the backup architecture or infrastructure. It's none of their business. All they care about is 2 things. First is how fast will we be back. Okay, so that is the recovery time objective. So the maximum acceptable downtime before operations must resume. Okay, so the operation should resume, but what is the maximum acceptable downtime for it? That's the RTO. You need to take care of it as an MSP. And another thing is how much data have we lost? That is your client's question. So RPO is recovery point objective, and this is the maximum acceptable data loss measured in time. And remember, ransomware breaks both RPO as well as RTO. RTO failure happens because corrupted backups can slow down your recovery. So even if it takes just 6 hours of downtime, it is still a lost revenue and an SLA breach as per your client, even if you eventually restore the backups. So RTO failure is one result of ransomware attack, and RPO failure is another result. So lost clean backup is also old, and there can be like lost transactions, complaints issues, and data can never be recovered within that period, within the time period. So ransomware doesn't just encrypt the systems, it is also going to break your RTO and RPO. So what good recovery can look like? Um, as an MSP, you can focus on 2 points. One is a near instant recovery. You can choose a solution that gives you near instant recovery, a clean restore point, and that to recent restore point, which you can easily use for recovery. No hunting for the lost uninfected backup. That is first thing. And it should be validated, as I was mentioning earlier. So you need to test before the crisis, and recovery drills can often confirm backups actually work. Okay? So the backup is only as strong as your RTO and RPO under pressure. And let us talk about some of the real world ransomware stories just for a better understanding of it. First is an example, a Kaseya incident, which happened back in 2021. Around 1,500 businesses approximately got affected across multiple countries. And Devil was the ransomware which exploited a 0-day vulnerability in Kaseya, which impacting dozens of MSPs and approximately 1,500 downstream business worldwide. So the attackers, as a result, demanded a ransom of about $70 million for a universal decryptor. And the key takeaway is a single vulnerability in an MSP ecosystem can impact hundreds or even thousands of downstream customer environments. Okay, so this is one example of how one single vulnerability can cause an impact. And the next one is about Maersk, which happened back in 2017 and incurred losses around $200 to $300 million. The NotPetya attack actually crippled the Maersk global operations, and the company had to rebuild thousands of servers and tens and thousands of endpoints from the scratch. And recovery was possible because of one healthy copy of a critical domain controller, which survived offline in a remote location. So the takeaway here is when everything else was lost, one surviving clean copy, if you have it, it can help restore a global business. Okay. So that is why you need to have isolated recoverable backups. And the third incident example is Norsk Hydro, which happened back in 2019. The incident happened, and it incurred losses in the range of $70 to $75 million. And it was actually hit by a ransomware, Locker Guga ransomware. But they chose not to pay the ransom in this case. Okay, fortunately. The company actually relied on their recovery preparedness and backup strategy and restore operations worked well. Okay, so the incident is widely regarded as one of the best examples of ransomware recovery. So the key takeaway from this incident, from this event is if you have a strong recovery planning in place and tested procedures in place, and if you have clean backups, then recovery is always possible without paying the ransom. Okay. So every ransomware story ends one of the two ways. Either the recovery works or the business pays the ransom. Okay, you need to keep in mind. And finally, how our products can help you meet these objectives and strengthen your backup strategy as an MSP. So we have both XDR Shield and BDR Shield that can help you in this journey. XDR Shield is our new product which we recently launched, and it's going to detect suspicious activities, and it can also identify indicators of compromise by monitoring endpoints, and it can contain threats early, so before they can reach your backups. So this is one important addition to our like backup solution, the XDR Shield, which can also like help strengthen your backup strategy, and BDR Shield, which is the flagship product, which is the backup and disaster recovery product, which maintains um, your backups, and it can also help recover the data when it's needed. And cyber resilience, when we talk about cyber resilience, it requires both one to reduce the likelihood of an attack, and another to ensure your business continuity, okay, by taking regular backups. And if you monitor, like if you master both, an MSP who can master both prevention and recovery uh, can become indispensable to their clients. So this was all about the crux of it, the webinar. And let me also like introduce about our company, Bamboo Technologies, for the benefit of new audience. Bamboo Technologies was founded back in 2004, and we have our headquarters in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India, and we have our offices in US as well. And Bamboo has been a leader in the backup and disaster recovery market for about 20 years, trusted by thousands of brands globally. And our mission our vision is to make enterprise-grade backup and they are accessible to SMBs, MSPs, and enterprises. And our mission is to deliver simple, affordable, and powerful data protection for hybrid and cloud environments. And we have a global presence in 100 plus countries across different industry verticals, including healthcare, education, finance, IT services, manufacturing, and so on. And we have about 4,000 plus partners worldwide, including MSPs, value-added resellers, distributors, and so on. And these are some of the global brands which we work with, including Siemens, NASA, Intel, Cisco, Philips, Mercedes-Benz, Fujitsu, Hexaware, and so on. And when we talk about the backup and disaster recovery solution, BDR Shield, we are offering you two different deployment options. First is a completely cloud-based management, and another is an on-prem solution. So if you're going with the completely cloud-based management, there is no hardware or maintenance involved there. Everything runs from the BDR Shield cloud management console. You can access it anywhere, anytime, and you can manage protection on the go. And you can protect multiple workloads like endpoints, servers, virtual machines from a single pane of glass. And you can store your backups anywhere. It can be your local, or it can be your private or public cloud, or it can also be your BDR Shield cloud storage. And it also comes with built-in ransomware protection with immutable backup option for S3 and S3 compatible targets. And if you're going with the on-prem version, especially if you are a self-hosted deployment, or you need air gap isolation or have strict compliance requirements, you can go with this BDR Shield on-prem solution. You can download BDR Shield using this link. Okay? So you can visit this and you can directly download the on-prem version of it. And when it comes to workloads, we are covering all these workloads. It can be your endpoints, physical endpoints like Windows, Linux, and Mac endpoints. It can be desktops or laptops. And SaaS applications like Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. For Microsoft 365, we are providing you options to take backups of your mailboxes, calendars, contacts, SharePoint, Teams, OneDrive items, and so on. And in case of Google Workspace, also you can take backups of your Google Drive, calendars, contacts, shared drives, mailboxes, and all that. And physical servers, you can also take physical servers. It can be Windows servers or Linux servers. You can take it as a backup. And cloud virtual machines can also be taken as a backup, including AWS EC2 instances and Azure VMs. And virtual machine backups, which includes 5 different hypervisors like VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox, KVM, and Ovid. And any NAS or file share can also be taken as a backup. And multiple databases like MS SQL, MySQL, and Postgres is also supported for backups. And you can store your backups anywhere. It can be on-premise, like your local disk or NAS or SAN or tape or deduplication appliances. And it can be your own public or private cloud, including Amazon S3 or S3 compatible targets like Wasabi, Minayo, Backblaze, V2, and also Azure Blob, Google Cloud, all these different providers. And you can also store it to um, Video Shield cloud storage, Wimbo's own cloud, which is cost-effective cloud storage. And let us dive into a live demo of Video Shield and also XDR Shield very quick. So this is our website, VDRShield.com, and the on-prem console can be accessed using this. Once we install the software, you can access it using localhost followed by port number, which is 6060. And the cloud console can be accessed using console.vdrshield.com. And for XDR Shield, this is the console.xdrshield.com. Okay, so this is for prevention and this is for backups. And let me quickly jump into the webinar, the interface. So this is the website. Here you can directly you sign up for the VDR Shield Cloud Console, and this is the on-prem version of it. So for on-prem deployment, we are providing you multiple options for installers, including Windows, Linux, Ubuntu, and Docker. And once we install this, you can take it as a web-based console, as I was mentioning, typing in localhost followed by port number. And for cloud-based management, here you are signing up. Okay, so this is the sign up page where you can view the basic details, and then you can sign in using the credentials, just like this. So hope you are able to view my screen here. So this is the VDR Shield console, which I was talking about. And here we have options to take backups of multiple workloads. I can be your servers and endpoints. This is for physical servers and endpoints for Windows, Linux, and Mac. And here is your virtualized infrastructure support for VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox, and KVM, and SaaS applications, Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, and this is for NAS or file share backup. And the repositories, you can store the backup data either locally. So this is the block storage, which is local storage. And you can also store it to any of the object storage in the cloud. Here we have multiple options like Amazon S3 or S3 compatible targets like Minayo, Backblaze, V2, Wasabi, Azure Blob, and Google Cloud. So all these are different options, and you can have multiple copies. Okay, so here, especially for servers and endpoints, what you can do is you can go and add your endpoint here. Okay, and then you can store the first copy to your block storage, which is the local storage, and you can also go ahead and create a second copy, which is a backup copy. And here you can create a backup copy job about it can be your file and folder level backup, or it can be a complete disk image backup of your Windows machine. Okay, and once you have created a backup copy job, so you'll be having multiple copies, okay, so across a block storage as well as an object storage. So the primary copy, primary job can be populating data to your local storage, and the backup copy job would be populating data to your object storage in the cloud. Okay, so this way we will be having multiple copies. And another thing is about the immutability. Okay, so here if you see for S3 and S3 compatible targets, we do have this immutable backup option for S3 and Wasabi and S3 compatible targets. So we have this immutable backup option, which you can enable and use it against ransomware attack. So this is about it. And you can have multiple copies, and you can also enable immutability. And another thing is you can also have data integrity. Okay, So data integrity verify. Okay, so this is where the testing comes in. Okay, so your backups, if you want to test them regularly, you can also like um, you can test the integrity of the data. Okay, so it's like um, you can have multiple copies, enable immutability, and also test the integrity of the data. Okay. And here we have an enhanced dashboard where you can have um, a comprehensive overview of how the backup health looks like. Okay. So here it will show the backup jobs in progress, and if anything is disconnected, it will be showing up here under disconnected status. And if like agents are up to date or not, you can see the status from here. And this is a complete overview of the infrastructure added. It can be servers and endpoints and multiple virtual machines, and also Microsoft 365 and all that. And this is a protection overview, out of which like if all the workloads are protected or not. Okay, so this will give you an overview of it. And here is something very interesting, like the backup gaps, whether the backups have been attempted or if there is no successful backup yet. These all will be showing under backup gaps. And this is for the top usage. Okay, so whichever backups or maybe whichever machines are occupying more space, so that will be showing up under top usage. And this is for the repositories. Okay, so like the top level usage for repositories. And this is the backup activity for the last 24 hours, how your backup health looks like in the last 24 hours. Okay, and this is about it at a very high level. So all you need to do is simply sign up, and then you can go ahead and configure the backups with the immutable option. And also you can have like multiple copies, and everything can be monitored under a dashboard with comprehensive reporting here. Okay, and you can also get email alerts and all that. Okay, so this is a very quick overview of the BDR Shield part. And when it comes to XDR Shield, let me like log out and log into XDR Shield. So this is a complete dashboard of the XDR Shield interface. Okay, so this is the new software which we introduced, and this is mainly for prevention. Okay, so prevention of threats, and we have like multiple tabs here, which includes the agent management. You can add your agent. You can download this agent from here. So this is the XDR Shield agent, which can be put on your endpoints or servers. It can be like manually downloaded, and you can install it, or you can also do a bulk agent installation, okay, using ADGPO or RMM software. Okay, and next is like you can like find all the agents here. The list of agents can be like seen from here. And we are also planning to introduce like support for the agent support for Linux and Mac, which is currently underway. Currently, we are supporting Windows endpoints and servers. Okay, so you can do the monitoring for Windows as of now. And here you can like create users. Okay, so you can add a user, and you can also assign them roles, different roles. So we have like predefined roles here. Okay, certain predefined roles, and you can also create a custom role. Okay, and this is for tenant management. For an MSP, you can create tenants. Okay, so you have this option of creating tenants. You can add a tenant. You can give the email IDs properly for your customers, and you can create a tenant, and you can also like set the limit for the endpoints within that tenant. Okay, and this is about the management part. And when it comes to rules, you can create multiple rules like file integrity rules. Okay, so this is where you can monitor for a specific attack at a file level. Okay, so here you can like add a new rule, and then you can match. Okay, so it can be like the specific file itself, or it can be a directory, or it can be using a wildcard pattern. Okay, you can match it, and then you can assign a severity here. So this is how it will monitor that particular file. If it gets created in that location, or maybe the existing file gets modified, or it gets deleted for some reason, or moved or renamed, you will get an alert. Okay, so this way you can monitor for suspicious activities. Okay, so within your client infrastructure. And here you can see in like this is like it will give you the event, okay, the current drift status of your events, the file monitoring event. And here you can review it, or you can also accept it or escalate it. So these are different actions which you can perform for a file monitoring related event. And next is like the registry monitoring. So registry is kind of all the settings within the Windows infrastructure. So that is residing in the Windows registry, as you know, and all the different applications as well as Windows itself is going to use the registry often. And if there is anything suspicious in the registry entries, you can monitor. So you can monitor new registry entries if that is getting created, or if some existing entry is modified, or maybe if it gets deleted, you can monitor that and you can get an alert. And this is for metrics. So here you can monitor for different metrics like high disk usage or high memory usage, or maybe high CPU usage. Okay, so you can create a rule. You can specify a threshold, something like that, and you can monitor system metrics as well. And processes, so any ransomware or any malware, so it's going to run as a process. It can start multiple processes or child processes, so which can be detected by monitoring for specific processes. Okay, so if a new process starts, or maybe if it is suspicious, or if an existing process stops, so all these can be like monitored using this process monitoring. And here are like this is filtering for URLs. Okay, so you can add a rule, and you can add trusted domains as well as blocked domains. Okay, this will help you and attack directly from suspicious domains. Okay, and you can also categorize under different categories like malware, phishing, and all that. Okay, so you can categorize different URLs under different categories, and then you can specify the rule whether you need to allow it or monitor it or deny it. You can specify the rule for that. Okay, and this is antivirus protection rules. So here you can currently we have a default connector as Microsoft Defender, and in the future we will also be introducing support for multiple other antivirus software. So in this case, you can like control an antivirus action. You can start a quick scan or full scan or maybe custom scan, and you can also schedule to run. Okay, you can schedule it to run during specific time period. Okay, and this is about the antivirus monitoring, and this is indicator of compliance blocking. So if you want to block certain known malware hashes, or maybe specific process indicators which may be infecting the system, you can like have a list of it, and then you can add it to your rule. Okay, so that will also be like appearing under the events. So this is about the monitoring part of it. And when it comes to detection, so if such events happen, if the threshold breach happens, you will get it as an event usually. Okay, so here you can see the total number of events and how many it's applicable for how many number of users and the agents and all that. Okay. So here you can see the event logs. Okay, so you can inspect it further and you can take an action. So it will show you along with the timestamp. Okay, so it will also be showing the path and all that. So if there is any event related to file monitoring, it will also be showing the exact file path, and you can see what can be done regarding that event. And if you have created an alert, in this case, you will also be like getting an alert of it along with like a notification. So we also have this notification capability. So currently you're providing email notifications. You can also get email notifications for that alert. Okay. And apart from that, you can also hunt for certain threats. If that is known, you can simply hunt it across all these different infrastructure. And if that happened in the last certain number of days, you can take immediate action. Okay. And you can also create tickets within this. You can raise a case within this, and then you can take actions. And response action is something which is important here. You are monitoring certain rules for certain tools, and then you are getting an alert, and you can also respond to it. Okay. So, in this case, for example, you can isolate the host. Okay, so if you feel like something is not proper within an agent, okay, something is like suspicious. In that case, you can simply choose to isolate the host itself, or maybe disable specific user, or maybe kill that process. All these things can be done. Okay, so this is like kind of a request action you can do manually. Okay, so this is one thing. And you can also create a playbook for it. You can create a playbook for certain alerts, how it should behave. Okay, so whether you're going to isolate the host itself or kill the process, so all these things can be done automatically. Okay, so this response action is going to help with your ransomware strategy, because once you detect something suspicious, you can take an immediate action of like probably isolating the host itself. So that will prevent further infection spread. Okay. So this is something critical, and these are like other response actions which can be done regarding the antivirus monitoring. Okay, you can manage the rules. Okay, so here you can see, okay, so what are the rules and what was the remediation action. Okay, so here you can edit it and you can enforce it. Okay, what is the remediation action? Here you can specify that remediation action. You can directly quarantine it and all that. Okay, so this is about it. The response can be done, and you also have options to get metrics of the system. If you're having hundreds of like endpoints within your infrastructure, your client infrastructure, you can monitor everything, and then you can have like metrics. So this is about the CPU memory usage and disk usage. And we also have this inventory, where you will get even detailed information on that. So for each and every system, you will be getting a summary of it, what is the operating system running, and then the software information, the hardware information, and if there are any vulnerabilities that are captured. Okay, so if any software that is installed on the endpoint is carrying some kind of a vulnerability, so it will show along with the CD. Okay, so you can then take an action. And this software package, so here you can go and you can publish the package. So if you are finding some kind of a vulnerable software package that is installed, you can then choose to deploy it using this software packages option. Okay. The latest patched version can be delivered to your customers' endpoints. And here there is this auditing logs for security, and this is for the notification. So this is a very high level overview of XDR Shield. Okay, so basically the thing is we are having both the software. One is for prevention and another is for the regular backups and disaster recovery. So you can like have both these software in tandem to actually have your strategy, ransomware strategy, very effective. Okay, and let me go back to my slides. So this is about it, a very quick demo of our XDR Sheet and VDR Sheet, and you can get started with VDR Sheet just by visiting this link. And if you have any queries, please feel free to ask. And this is a time for like receiving your questions. And we are seeing like some of the questions are already there in the question answer session. It's open. So we have noted down some of your questions, and we will be like answering through email. We will be like getting in touch, and we'll be like answering through email. And thank you so much everyone for joining today's session and today's webinar. And for any queries, you can like simply write to us, vdr-sales@waybo.com, and you can also reach our support anytime by writing to vdr-support@waybo.com. And thank you very much everyone again. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.